Hi, so this is Corey J. Vigil again with my second YouTube video. I did one the previous week. In this video for Corey J Dynamics, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into my business, my LLC business that I started. I'm going to talk about my future plans for my business. I'm going to go into where I envision my business a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So, as far as like short term goals for my company, Corey J Dynamics, my goal is to just reach as many people as I can to grow a bigger audience and attract it to my company, attract it to my website. As I mentioned before, I have a podcast, my own podcast channel titled Visualize with Optimism by Corey J. And I link those up with my Facebook and also my Twitter accounts so that people can listen in on them. But as far as in the next year, it's just to grow and establish my brand name, Corey J Dynamics, across all social media platforms, and just to grow my audience so that I can have a much bigger influence over my audience. And as I mentioned, the specific services that I'm going to offer with my company are financial services, specifically investments, wealth management, and various types of retirement plans. So, in the next year or within the next year, my goal, what I'm going to do is pass my Series 7, Series or the SIE exam, and also the Series 66 exam, which are required to work in the financial services industry and become a financial advisor and uh, actually give out and uh, would qualify me to give investment advice to different people. And then I can just uh, provide more services, expand my business that way. So, that's just the 1 year goal is just to gain that bigger following, have my business established, pass my exams, get licensed, and um, get with the broker dealer. I'm already being seriously considered by three different ones. One of them is a large bank. You may have heard of them, Ameriprise Financial. So, those are the first steps for my services and to just grow and expand my website that's tied to my business and just increase that foot traffic and do it organically instead of just relying on Google ads and paying for those ads. Because I feel like organic marketing using SEO is, in my opinion, the best way to grow increase your traffic and to your website, your company, your business. And I'm also trying to do that with my podcast channel. It's going to be on the same topics that I do on my weekly YouTube videos with the financial services. But I'm also going to be going into my company, my personal brand. And that's why I started this company, is because when you start a business and it's your own personal brand, it's something that's tied to you. It's not just about what you provide to people. it's you, it's who you are. It's like the same thing with Tesla, Nike, or um, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. A lot of those billionaires, those entrepreneurs that started their business, Jeff Bezos, um, Elon Musk with Tesla. A lot of people they follow their services. That's their products, but it's their brand name. That's why people follow them. That's why they're so big. And with Jeff Bezos, he's like the richest man in the world. So that's where envision myself with my business is just to uh, establish my brand name across all social media platforms and do it through my website. So over the next 5 years, I plan to return to college, open up my own accounting firm, maybe go after my CFP, which is the Certified Financial Planner certificate, which is another a stepping stone in the financial services industry. So that's what I'm going to be doing too. And as far as even in that 5 year plan, like 5 years from now, I just want my company, Corey J Dynamics, to grow so big that when I do open up my own investment or financial planning firm or my own accounting firm or any other firm or company that's going to be tied to the parent company, Corey J Dynamics, the way I see Corey J Dynamics is kind of analogous to a conglomerate, kind of like Walmart, where you have a company or a corporation, but it's the parent to all these child or separate companies, but they're branched off and they're a part of that parent company. Like same thing with Walmart, and that's what I'm gonna or that's what I'm gonna do with Corey J Dynamics. So when I start my own investment firm or um, financial firm, it's gonna be a part of Corey J Dynamics. Same thing with the accounting. So that's where I see my business in the next 5 years. And then in the next 10 years, Corey J Dynamics will grow so big that I would have established my brand across uh, not only throughout the internet, but throughout the country or even throughout the world, and just expand it so big that people are gonna know Corey J Dynamics, and they can trust me because they know that the services that I provide, and they also know that they can trust me because just because of my brand name, it's tied to me, and I do things differently than what other companies are doing, or even what other investment firms are doing. So, in the next 10 years, that would be my goal is to have at least 5 or 6 smaller companies or smaller businesses, but they're all a part of Corey J Dynamics. And I'm going to get there. It's going to take a lot of legwork. It's going to take a lot of financial sacrifice and risk. And it's going to take many years, but it's very possible. It's very doable. But right now, I'm just getting my business started. So I registered my business with the state of Colorado as a limited liability company. I just got my EIN number for tax purposes and get me some E&O insurance to protect me for liability issues. But as far as Corey J Dynamics, the main services that I provide are our financial services, like I said, retirement planning, um, wealth management, and I'll have another like a podcast which I'm gonna try and streamline into or register with onto Spotify, Pandora, iTunes this week or next week is when I'm gonna register my podcast. Uh, but even with that podcast is going to be a part of Corey J Dynamics. Same thing with financial services. When I go with the firm, it's going to be a part of Corey J Dynamics because that's my company, that's my brand, and I'll be doing these podcasts weekly. I share the links on Facebook and my Twitter account. I even got you see my mic. So when you start a business, it's just those baby steps, and you don't have to put that much money into it. I've only invested in a few $100 startup. I did buy this mic, and as you can see, I did buy a computer desk. So before it was hard to see me in front of the camera, but it's just those steps that you have to take to improve yourself. Uh, I've always had a problem with confidence. I was always quiet in high school. I did join a few clubs, but I wasn't really that committed to them. But these weekly videos of YouTube on my channel, on my podcast, that really grows my confidence. And confidence is a big part of being an entrepreneur and starting your own business and starting your own brand. So that's what I'm doing right now. And as far as the specific target audience that I have, it's just other like-minded entrepreneurs like myself, and that's why I use Facebook. That's my main platform that I use for networking with other business owners, small business owners, entrepreneurs, and but the specific services I provide are financial services, and whether it's investments, different financial plans. Uh, and as far as like the online and social media tools and methods that I plan to use to help me with my business, my company, or just trying to gain that bigger following, that bigger influence. And I use Facebook. I have a LinkedIn account, and I even have my own website, CoreyJDynamics.com, which I'll be launching this week. Um, it'll be tied to my Facebook account, my Twitter, LinkedIn, and you guys can view it there. Um, just browse my website, different content on there. It'll have links there too to my social media. And eventually I'm going to create my own podcast, which I plan to get on Spotify. And that's going to be linked to, again, my Facebook, my Twitter accounts. Just utilize social media as much as I can to just attract so many people to me, to my services, my company. And a lot of people, like whether just starting off as a business, they don't use social media, and they should, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And I believe that starting your own personal brand is the best way. So, but that's what I'm going to use is social media. Like I said, I keep everyone of my followings updated on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, on my podcasts. Create quality content. So, the last thing I want to talk about is establishing that trust with clients. I think that's really important with your personal brand. When they trust you, that means that, like with me, they'll trust me with their investments, with their finances, and to me, that's just really important. So, but yeah, this is my second YouTube video. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so tomorrow I'll create another YouTube video or a podcast episode, and the podcast host I use is Buzzsprout, but I link it to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, as many social media accounts as I can, and try and get people to come in and just listen so that they can just gain a better understanding of me, my company, my business, and my mission for growing my business. So, and but yeah, so I'll create another YouTube video next week. And thanks again. Thanks for listening in. I really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Facebook, my name is Corey J. Vigil. I'm also on LinkedIn, same Corey J. Vigil. And I'll have the website up and running, and it'll be launched to the public this week, CoreyJDynamics.com. And it has my business email address on there. And I'm also on Twitter, Corey J. Vigil. So, whether it's my social media or my Facebook, they're all linked together. And like I said, next week I'll do another podcast. I do these every week. And yeah, thanks again. If you have any questions or comments, please include them in the comment section here. And thanks again.